Over the years, there's something really weird that I noticed about Halo. As a franchise in general, I mean, a lot of you probably already know this, but as time has gone on and more Halo games drop, it just seems like it's getting more and more cartoony. Halo just doesn't have the same charm or impression on me as it did. When I was a little kid, Halo was the first, violent video game I ever played. I even remember sitting down with an original Xbox and playing the co-op campaign and playing, the multiplayer with, my friend or my nephew. It gets kind of creepy at times once you get later into the campaign and you see the flood and all that. I've noticed that there's just this kind of liminal space, this kind of dark vibe that the first game has that the newer ones don't really seem to have. Don't get me wrong, Halo 2 brought some, better things, the graphics got sharper, the gameplay was smoother, and, the dual-wielding mechanics was, fun. But where's, the scariness? It's not that creepy, the first one had these really creepy vibes at times, it felt like you were in a sci-fi horror movie. But now it's just, even, Halo 2, it already just feels different, and just the mechanics are better in some ways, but in my opinion, the mechanics are worse in a lot of ways. For some reason, in the first Halo, when, you would shoot somebody, when you would, shoot a Covenant, or you would, throw a grenade or shoot a rocket and blow them up, it just was boom, and it just had this really hard, gritty, aggressive feel to it, and, it would be, really bloody. And then, with each subsequent Halo game, including Halo 2, even in Halo 2, the grenades just don't feel the same. In the first Halo, the grenades not only had, a more boomier, harder feel to it to me, but, it had, a bigger blast radius. You could just chuck a grenade and it would just annihilate anyone. But in Halo 2, it's grenades are so nerfed. You have to be, it's like an enemy has to be standing directly over the grenade for that to even hurt them. You can chuck 5 grenades into a cluster of enemies and it won't even kill them all. It'll only hurt a few of them. You would throw a grenade in the first game, blow them up, and they would, you would see an elite get blown up and would go flying 50 feet into the goddamn air. That was great. That was fun. But now it's they get blown up and they just kind of fall over. They just kind of come off the ground a foot or two, come off the ground a meter at the most, and then they just fall back down. It's just lame. And they just kind of tumble around, they don't, the ragdolls used to feel stiff and heavy, they would just drop a ton of bricks, and I liked that. And now it's they just kind of fall over a limp little ragdoll, and it's just dumb. Do you remember the first time playing Halo? When you stepped onto that weird, mysterious ring world? I mean, that was, a huge moment. That was, really cool. But then in Halo 2 and all the subsequent games, it's just oh, look, another Halo, and it's just boring. It's just the same shit over and over and over and over and over. The first Halo had a haunting sound design, and it matched the dimly lit corridors of the Pillar of Autumn or the library or anything like that. The 343 Guilty Spark level where you're going around in the installation or whatever, it just had a whole different vibe to it. It was dark and mysterious and ambient and ominous. And then in Halo 2 it was just do 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 do. It's just got silly music. The music just sounds silly to me. It's just all cartoony sounding now. They even had Breaking Benjamin songs as part of the soundtrack. I mean, in the first one, it's they had all this creepy sound design that they made exclusively for the game, and it was more special and more defined. And in Halo 2, they just took some songs that were popular at the time, which were some Breaking Benjamin songs, and fucking threw them in the game. Kind of lazy. It just seems lazy to me, and it makes it so dated. The first one feels more timeless, but the first Halo feels more timeless, but Halo 2 feels just dated. It just feels dated. Here's another point, the Flood. In Halo Combat Evolved, encountering these parasitic horrors was a heart-pounding experience. The build-up, the suspense, it was horror in space, but in Halo 2, they just felt more like another enemy to shoot. When I was a teenager, first playing that for the first time, I was not expecting that at all. I didn't know the Flood was a thing. When I fucking saw those things, I lost my shit. It scared the hell out of me. It kind of gave me nightmares a bit about these weird, slimy little parasitic fucking zombies breaking into my house. Like, I had a nightmare once that I was trying to sleep in my bed and it felt really real, and the like Halo 1 Flood were like breaking into my house. It fucking freaked me out. Like, it doesn't scare me as much anymore. Like, it doesn't really it's still a little creepy, but it doesn't really scare me anymore. But like, even though it doesn't scare me anymore, I still find them creepy and unsettling. Like, they kind of remind me of something from Amnesia. But in Halo 2, like, they never freaked me out. Halo 2, and it just gets worse with, like, Halo 3 and beyond. Like, it just gets worse and worse. The Flood just do not feel scary. They just feel like an annoying thing. Halo 2 did some really great new things and set some new standards for multiplayer, and they expanded the universe in really cool ways. But when it comes to the creepy factor, it just didn't deliver the same punch, like, at all. I wouldn't even call it creepy at all. Like, the first one felt, at times, the first one actually felt a little bit more like a horror game at times on some of the levels. Halo 2 has never had that vibe. It just feels like a run-of-the-mill shooter to me. Some people really like Halo 2, and I think it's cool too, but like, it's just the first Halo just hit me so differently from all the other Halo games. Like, I never liked any of the other Halo games at all. I always hated them. I always thought it was just getting cheesier and cheesier. So that's about it. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it bothers me, and I just wanted to know if anyone else can relate to this feeling. If anyone else agrees with me that the first Halo just had a totally different vibe in its mechanics and its just general feel and its general vibe, and it's just its creepiness and horror factor. Like, let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing or leaving a like. Thanks for watching, and until next time.